Hello and welcome to Dishing Delights. My name is Jenica and today I'm going to share with you 3 more meals made out of shelf-stable ingredients that I pulled out of my pantry. Let's get into it. The first meal I am making is sausage hash, biscuits, and gravy. The first thing I'm going to do is add 1 cup of water to this. I have some really cold water. I'm going to add some powdered milk to that. I'm going to set this aside and keep it cold. Alright, now for the biscuits. We have 2 cups of flour, and then we are making this into self-rising flour. And it says 1.5 teaspoons for every cup. So we need 3 teaspoons. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt per cup. I'm going to mix this dry mixture together really well. Now I'm going to get out 1/2 cup of CRISCO. Alright, there's a 1/2 cup of CRISCO. Now we are going to mix this up till this CRISCO is in small pea sizes. Alright, I think that's good. Do you see how these CRISCO chunks are in very small pieces now? Alright, now we are going to add in our milk. Now we do not want to overmix these, so I'm trying to be very easygoing with it. Once it is formed into a ball, I'm going to lightly flour my surface, kind of roll it out into my surface. All right, now I'm going to roll it out about 3/4 inch thick. Should have floured my rolling pin. That was my mistake. Now I have my 2 3/4 inch biscuit dough cutter. Now, normally you would put biscuits in the oven. I am going to cook them on the stovetop. first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try the first batch. I have a little bit of CRISCO oil in the bottom. Now I am going to check these out in 5 minutes. Alright, it has been 4 minutes, but oh, they're rising! I'm doing something right. I just want to make sure they're not burnt. Okay, they might be a little bit burnt. Perfect! Okay, I'm glad I checked them after just 4 minutes. Oh, I'm so excited! Alright, I'm just going to let them go for maybe 2.5 more minutes. Alright. Look how delicious those look. Alright, let's do it with the next round. Now here was the last one that I kind of threw together. Oh my goodness. Okay, now let's get the full rundown on what I just did. I cooked these biscuits for 5 minutes, and then when there was 1 minute left, I came over to the stove and I flipped all of the biscuits. And then once that 5 minutes was up, I added 2 more minutes, so it was 7 minutes total. So these will cook for about 6.5 to 8 minutes. You just have to watch it. It kind of looks like the second batch is going faster, but that's pretty expected. Alright, now I have this can of sausage hash. Now I'm just going to let this crisp up. I still have the heat on a low heat. These are going to take me about 20 minutes to get fully crispy. Now I want every little bit to be a little bit crispy. And I think that it's about there. I've seen some people like shape these into patties and stuff like that. It just never works out for me with corned beef hash. So I decided to make the sausage hash just like I do the corned beef. This is actually really delicious. I've been picking pieces out of it here and there, and this might be better than corned beef hash in my opinion. So I'm going to take it off of the stove. I'm gonna turn my heat off first. All right, I have this package of gravy and 3 cups of water. Now I am just going to add that gravy packet and then mix this thoroughly. That was a disaster. Thought I had a little better control of it than I did. Clean up a little bit. I just made an absolute mess. Now we are going to bring this to a boil. Now once this comes to a boil, I'm just going to reduce the heat and let it simmer for a minute. Now it is boiling. Going to reduce it down to a low heat. It's already thickening up. All right, I'm going to take this off the heat. I'm going to take a biscuit and cut it in half. It fell apart a little bit, but yum. I'm actually gonna put my sausage hash right on top. And then I'm going to add some gravy. I mean, come on, does it get better than that? But that is our shelf-stable breakfast. I'm actually really excited about this. Let's try this out. For lunch, we're having mac and cheese with Viennas and peas. Now let's make some lunch. Okay, so didn't realize that I was not recording, but I just added my macaroni into some boiling water, and I'm just going to let that cook through. Now while that's going, I'm going to cut up my Vienna sausages. All right, now we're gonna be honest here. I'm not the biggest fan of Vienna sausages, but my husband loves these for fishing, especially ice fishing season. Now these ones are the barbecue flavor, and we're actually gonna keep that barbecue in there. So I think that'll be a nice addition to the mac. I probably only needed one, but we're already in it. So I'm going to cut them just like you would hot dogs. Interesting. Right here I have a 1/4 cup of water. All right, now that my noodles are cooked, I'm going to drain them. All right, I'm going to add that milk in. I'm going to add the macaroni pack in. I'm going to add some ghee in here. If you have butter, add butter. It says add 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm just going to add a couple tablespoons of ghee. I don't want it too buttery. Might have turned that heat down a little too low. Now I'm going to add all of these Viennas to it. And I was going to serve my peas on the side. These are drained. I'm just going to add them in. I think maybe next time, if I had a larger family, it's just my husband and I would add an extra box of mac and cheese. But we're gonna take this off the heat. And that is an easy peasy lunch. This came together in like less than 10 minutes. Yum. For dinner, we are doing chicken and dumpling soup. All right, we are going to make some chicken soup. Now I'm going to add in 2 cans of chicken. I'm trying to make sure that this chicken is shredded all the way through. All right, now I'm going to add my carrots in. Now, obviously low sodium broth would be better to use, but this is what I have on hand at the moment to add to that 3 cups of water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just half this dumpling recipe. That way, if I heat up this soup again, I can just make fresh dumplings. So right here I have a half cup of flour, a half teaspoon of baking powder, quarter teaspoon of salt. Alright, I'm just going to mix that together. Ooh, also I'm going to add in some seasonings. Alright, I'm going to add in some thyme, some oregano, and some pepper. Alright, now I'm slowly going to add in probably a little less than a quarter cup of water. So this was my first time making dumplings this way. I need to perfect this technique, but this was just a super simple flour, salt, water, powder recipe. But I want to work with this a little bit more for some future shelf-stable meals videos. They didn't turn out bad, I just need to work on my technique and the flavor a little bit. Alright, I think that's good. Alright, let's add these dumplings to the soup. Alright, now that this is simmering, I'm going to make little mini dumplings. Now if you make these dumplings regular size, they're probably going to take like 10 to 15 minutes. But these might take like 8 or 9. So I'm going to cover this and I'll check on it in 8 or 9 minutes, but I'm going to make sure that this isn't like boiling over. I just turn the heat down a little bit. I think that these are finished. That looks delicious. And here is the chicken and dumplings. Thank you so much for watching another shelf-stable pantry meals video. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload my next video. Thank you so much for watching.